Hello, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. And in this particular video, I want to talk about whether if you have an undergraduate degree that's not in engineering or science or mathematics or something along those lines, whether you should actually think about doing a PhD in business, innovation, entrepreneurship, or just kind of a PhD in general, right? A scientific career or something along those lines. And I would highly, highly recommend that you actually do. So if you don't know, I am a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. So I created this sort of sharing economy proofreading platform. But then I've been building out these YouTube videos as well to help you as much as I possibly can, right? So there's just that's all I'm going to say. But you can notice I'm in a different surrounding right now, and we're escaping. My family's escaping from Hurricane Michael, Category 4, possibly Category 5 hurricane at this moment that's hitting the coast of Florida. I live in Florida, and so we wanted to make sure that we were in a different place and safe and sound. And we're well away from that. We're doing okay. We're enjoying our holiday right now. But if there are people that are experiencing it and have dealt with the hurricane, hearts and thoughts and prayers and are with you right now. So if you don't have an undergraduate degree in science and engineering and mathematics and sort of the sort of traditional ways that you think about science, does it make sense to do a PhD? It absolutely does make sense. There is a lot of people that don't have sort of rigorous scientific background degrees that are currently doing PhDs, and they're excelling in that, or they're an assistant or full professor or whatever. They're excelling in those careers. So I'm in the bottom floor of a hotel right now, so it's a little bit noisy. Apologize. So, anyways, lots of people do excel with maybe it is a literature degree, or maybe they have an English degree, and the way that they excel is they learn about all of these things along the way, right? So you might not necessarily know a lot about mathematics or databases or science or whatnot, but you're really interested in this, but you will learn about it as you're doing that study. So for me, I study organizational learning from failure, and I've had to study things about like disaster management of all things, right? Or, things I've studied the philosophy of science and innovation and things that are really broad and kind of all over the place that I wouldn't necessarily think that I would be studying when I was doing this. And it was really fun to be able to do this. And you're going to do the exact same thing when you do a PhD. You're going to be forced to study some of those things, and believe it or not, you're probably going to enjoy a lot of that stuff. So it's not really being forced, but you feel compelled to learn some of these stuff. The other thing that you are not going to think about yourself is that even with a English degree or a literature degree or whatever it is that you're studying, it is really beneficial for you because there's lots of people that write very, very well, and they develop either theoretical papers that are more of like theoretical essays that have a lot of really cool insights in them that you wouldn't normally think about these insights with these things. And what those do is those create sort of a base for other people to study and carry forward, right? So you create this really nice theoretical argument that nobody else has thought about, and you have that skill, you have that writing skill that people don't have, right? So if you have a journalist degree, for example, you can write stuff that other people can't do. I personally can't write like that. So you can write things like that will give other people insight. And when you do that, they can build on those cool theoretical insight papers and create something new. In fact, some of the most well-cited, most famous people out there, they simply just write these theoretical arguments, and they don't sort of test them at all. And this is in every single degree, right? So even theoretical physics, right? If you're talking about theoretical physics, you're talking about things that are dreamt up. And that's really what you're doing when you're writing these sort of theoretical essays. They're very, very beneficial. The other thing that you can do is, of course, you can brush up on your quantitative skills and stuff like that. And you're going to have to do a little bit of that. any PhD in any sort of scientific endeavor, you're going to have to brush up on quantitative skills, just kind of so you have an understanding of what's going on. But a lot of people will do kind of qualitative research. And again, a lot of the deepest, most important insights that we have are based on qualitative research, right? Of going in and asking people or going in and doing a case study. So if you think of medicine, for example, case studies are really important in medicine to understand that, okay, um, all of a sudden we just discovered somebody was born with wings on, right? Like we've never seen that before. Yes, it's one sort of single person that has wings, but if you wrote up a compelling case of the person with wings, that's going to have a huge impact on how we understand science. Now I know that's completely fictitious, but that's gonna have a huge impact on science. You don't have to do large data analysis to find all this kind of stuff and analyze why this person has wings and stuff like that. But you just have to tell the story that this person has wings. That's going to be huge, right? Like that is going to be a major insight that nobody else has told. And that's really what you're looking for when you're doing these qualitative pieces. You might go and talk to, in my field, you might go talk to executive or entrepreneurs, and you'll discover things that nobody else has talked about. Or it's really hard to sort of get at that with empirical data. But the way that you can get at some of this stuff is just by talking to people. And it just might be impossible to ever get at that, right? So think about whistleblowing studies, right? If you're talking about people doing whistleblowing, well, how the heck are you ever going to capture somebody sort of tattling on their organization in the act? That's never going to happen, right? But you can go and ask people how they dealt with whistleblowing, and what are the sort of processes they work through to get to the point where they're actually doing whistleblowing activities within their organization. And I know it's not going to be completely perfect and it's not going to be perfect, valid science, but at the same time, it's better than what we have. And it's going to give you more insight than what we had before. So that's one thing to think about, is you're always thinking about how much can we get better insight than what we had before. And yes, you can when you do qualitative studies. And if you don't have sort of engineering and science and math background and stuff like that, you can really, really benefit science if you go into a scientific career that way. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do appreciate it. It's just me. I'm trying to be honest, open, and trying to help you out as much as I possibly can. So leave me a comment if this does benefit you. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.